Hello, everybody. It's George today. Champ Mega Horse couldn't be here, and he hasn't really told me how to do anything tonight, so I don't really know. But I don't think he knows anything either. So it's fine. We're okay. Um, I am looking at some matches. There's some V's for the results. Hopefully they will change today. Um, but if we have a look at the last time round, we saw some teams scored one goal. In fact, there was three 1-1 draws between the Filmer Singer team and Round Hay with the Butterflies in their team, Stackington Colliery and the Colours and Shrumpton from Camberwick Green with the Dieter Isles player, and they drew 1-1 with Atletico New Mills, which they are the top team in the league at the moment. And the best team ever was the Grove because they scored 4 goals in their match. And the table so far looks very nice, doesn't it, Jeffrey? There's 20 points for the Atletico New Mills. I can count that high. I don't know what that number says there, 30,000 goals or something. And then three teams just behind Daggers, the Blues and Trumpeton are doing very well. And down at the bottom, my favourite breakfast cereals are at the bottom with no points. And the gondola with your 1 point so far. And again, looking to today's games, I better introduce the co-commentator for today. He's my best friend, Tato Marino. Hello, Tato. How are you?
Good evening, everybody. I was okay. I was not told that George would be joining us tonight. I was
Yes,
assured it was
you
Mega
were,
Horse.
Jeffrey. You were
But
told. You were
if I
told.
knew it was George, I would not be here.
You're a liar. I know that. I know. Yes, you said you would only come on if George was here, and if Dillis could come along and see us later on. I know very well, Jeffrey. Um, they-
I did. That's absolutely true, George. I'm very happy to be here, and especially because I don't particularly know the league. I don't particularly know the managers. I've watched several of the episodes, but I'm very much looking forward to casting my own opinions on these teams that I don't know who is in charge of them. I'm going to try and guess what the concepts are for a lot of them as well, which should be fun. And hopefully, Dillis will be joining us later. And I think she might have a little green friend with her as well. So look forward to that.
Oh, that's very good, isn't it? I'm looking forward to seeing Orville later on as well. That will be very nice. Let's see. This game cannot come first, Jeffrey. This game cannot come first. It must come later on. We go to the match of the team Los Huracas, which I know means the Magpies, and they are playing the Trumpton Vice squad for today. Um, last time, Tato, I don't know what happened either, so I will click. They lost 4-2 to the Grove team, which wasn't very good because the Grove are behind them. But
I'm,
this is their team
I'm,
for
I am
today.
I'm amazed that Given has kept his place, George, because normally what happens, George, in football, someone plays terribly, they don't tend to play the next game, and he's managed to play on, even though he's got a 4 last game. So I'm amazed he's starting.
He got four. He did get 4 goals past him as well. Maybe because it balances, he can play again today. I don't know. He's been given another chance. I imagine. You can see. Can you recognise the concept of the squad?
I think the concept here is lots of very good players and Emre. That's what I think it is there.
Yes, Dan Hazard. He suggested that at all times his team must have 5 Newcastle players in the squad
Oh yeah.
playing on the pitch. So Patrick
I was wondering why
Kluivert.
Jonsson. I was wondering why Ronnie Jonsson was there as well. He's half decent on the game, but I wondered why he was there. So we've got Cliver, Emre, Ronnie Jonsson, Given, and Dyer. Nice.
Yeah, yes, and it's quite nice, isn't it, Jeffrey? And they have Samuel Pepys in defence as well, playing alongside each other there as well. Uh, this is a team who nearly won the cup recently as well. It was a very close match, losing 45 in the match, which was very nice, but they didn't win. Um, yes. I think we should get into the match with them now.
I think Samuel Pepys will be looking to write a fairy tale tonight.
Yes, put that one in your
Having that
diary,
one, George.
Jeffrey. It's a Trumpton
Oh
Vice Squad
wow!
have gone experimental for today. I think they have decided to play some kind of box.
Looks like a wardrobe, doesn't it? Yeah.
Hey,
Concept
Papa
here.
Boudiop, is he
Does
playing?
the Papa concept? I would go here. Concept is Ray Parler's rape parlor. I think. Not sure. Not sure.
They're
Why
very
is Ray
nice
Parler
players.
playing?
Because he's Ray Parlour, I think that's the only reason he is possibly one of the best players in the world um, ever, ever.
Right, fair enough. I'm very interested to see what happens to these arrows because, but if my estimations are correct, it leaves them with no centre halves, which is lovely. George is what that means.
There might be space for Sigalko and Cliver to get in. I was
Let's hope so.
Was Sigalko playing for the other team? I cannot remember.
Yes,
Last time they played the formation of this one and did very well against a very good team.
it's excellent. I'm a huge fan of all the arrows. So yeah, long may it last.
Yes, long arrows. It's what they all want these days. Um, we have some things to go through. Peter Höglund is refereeing, and we can start the match, our first match of today. And I like commentating on things I don't know about. And there's a penalty, and Shaved Gibbon is being sent off already.
Interesting.
That is a problem because they will need to take off. Um, they will need to make two substitutes, I think. Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, they will have to make two substitutes because of the Newcastle rule,
Ouch.
which is quite sad, isn't it,
Right.
Jeffrey?
I'd be.
Um,
I mean, you'd be bringing Woodgate on for Yepes probably,
but
and then
yeah,
because that's an extra Newcastle.
and maybe when we may, I don't know. Wood-
Um,
Woodgate for
Clivert.
Yepes
I
has
think you
started
have.
very well, hasn't he?
Yeah, get him off.
Clivert is a Newcastle player,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Sigalko needs
Riquelme?
to come off, I think,
Oh, gonna.
because I mean it's Sigalko or Ronaldinho or Riquelme that must come off, and I don't know, Jeffrey, which one is it. It's too difficult for the first thing in the day to have to do. I'd like to press reset and go home and cry. Um, Costanzo must come on. And with 1, 2, 3, 4
I guess get Maxim off then. Yeah, go on. Get Maxim off.
for the Shearer or for the
Oh,
Costanzo,
I
and
don't think of that.
have Clivert on his own up the
I
front.
would have Clivert on his own. Yeah.
So Costanzo for Sigalko, and then one more change.
I'd do. I'd probably bring Yepes off for Woodgate if it was me.
Yes, the man of the match is coming off at this early time.
Yeah.
Um,
Super Mario
1,
straight off.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yes,
5.
Jeffrey.
Buzzing.
Two substitutes. Oh, it's very sad, isn't it?
If only there was an indication in the last game that Given played that he wasn't on the best form.
You didn't say anything, and Arjen Robben scores a penalty. It is one goal to nil already for the Trumpton Vice squad. It's very good for them, and Racker's coming back. The Magpies trying to steal something.
What you'd say is that the Magpies playing one central striker might be more effective than two strikers up front, considering there's a giant gap right down the middle of the defence.
That is very true, isn't it? But it's too.
Yeah.
And Sigalko decided he wasn't going to play for the Rackers and he was going to score past them. And it is 2-0. And it's Patrick Cliver has scored his 10,000th league goal of his career, which was
A lot
very
of goals.
nice. But Agahauer makes it 3-1. And this is quite the first half of football in the world. Possibly the greatest first half we've seen all day.
Yeah, I mean, Costanzo is not covering himself in glory. Maybe that's why Given has been given another chance.
Which Costanzo do you mean?
That's correct. I meant one for Los Uracas because he was stranded for one of the goals there. So interesting. I mean, that's a brilliant game. That's a quality first half.
I bet you're glad you stayed up till 5 o'clock in the morning for this game, aren't you, Jeffrey?
I will massively regret it tomorrow morning, George.
I just check whether your teams have any ideas of what they're doing.
I mean, they don't have much left, do they?
Trumpton are happy as they are at the time, and Uracas want to manage the conditions. So we have a look, and we are all okay. It's just that wise, Vieira playing very well. Agahauer's been kicking the football a little bit. Taribo West not being very Taribo West like at the moment. I don't know.
Myth. That's why. Absolute myth.
But I thought he might be your green friend for later on. I wasn't sure.
No, he is not. What interests me here is you've got Walter Samuel, who's made 6 tackles, he's won 5 and 3 key headers, but yet he's only made 2 passes. So he must have put the tackle in and then ran the other way, away from the ball, I think. Who knows?
His tackles just go straight to the other team.
And then he goes again. Yeah, maybe.
It was the very first thing in the match, and Robin scores a penalty, and then we went a little bit longer on, and Costanzo didn't quite save it very well, and Sigalko scored past his own goalkeeper. He wasn't happy he was substituted for Costanzo, so he scored past him, and then. Well, that was quite nice, wasn't it? Franco Costanzo hit a 35-yard ball forward to Vieira. Very, very good, wasn't it? And then Zen Clivert scored his 1,000 millionth goal of his career with a very nice goal past Njai and Ferdinand, who I believe Dillis will know this. There is an episode of Fireman Sam where Norman has a frog and it is called Ferdinand.
Well, maybe we can ask her when she comes on later.
Yes, I remember now. I watched it many years ago, and I still remember because Les Ferdinand was playing at the time. And then we have a Vieira down to Agahauer, who scores a wonderful Mark Hughes style goal. It was very good, wasn't it, Jeffrey?
Keeping error. I'm very intrigued to see where this goes now. I would imagine more goals for Trumpton and possibly one more for Uracas as well.
Uracas 2, Trumpton 5.
That's it, yeah. Good prediction.
Or maybe 0-0, I don't know. Maybe one of the two. There's been some chances again, and then we have a little look and see what happens. And it's but NGI has been sent off as well.
Balances things up.
Oh, well, I know what I would do to not make any substitutes. I mean, I would put these as a back 3 and just wide players out everywhere else.
I mean, you don't want to take away from the concept, do you? I'd just move Ferdinand central and leave it as it is.
And just go for your one centre back.
You don't want to move his arrows completely, do
you? well, they are winning. They are. If it goes bad in the next 5 minutes, we put them as a back 3.
Okay.
In fact, I will see here if they say anything.
They have more central defenders now than they did at the start of the game.
Because they're not of running the wide away movements and stuff. Yes. Well, we play football now, right?
Just press continue, just Georgia. You bumbling fool.
Oh, it's 4-1, and it is 4-1. Maybe the substitute was very, very good, Jeffrey.
Can we bring Costanzo off?
Matt Kerr wants to go in goal.
Oh man.
I just think about the substitutes now is that all they can bring on is Alan Shearer for Emre, and Emre is a tired player.
You can switch your things around, can't you, if you do that? Yeah.
He has a naughty little injury.
Yeah, switch that around.
And would you put
Clivert
Shearer
further back? Yeah.
Clivert?
Yeah, you're not making Shearer run round at 10, are you? Yeah. That'll do.
He is 10. He
is 10. Very clever.
10th birthday last week. It was very nice. We went along and Sutty had a good time. Looking at the substitutes for the Trumpton side, if Robin or Agahawa need to come off, then Kivu can come on.
Sorry?
Yes, I know. There was a little change every. I think.
Is the parlour closing down?
Yes, parlour. He needs to go home and have a little cry. That would be. I think Thierry Henry would be the best player to come on in that position. I think, and Rositzky to go further back. It would make
that sounds good to me.
The most sense, wouldn't it?
If you say so, yeah.
Like that, and nobody else needs to come off. I think at 4-1, they might make it 96-1 by the end.
I was hoping to see Kivu up front.
he was going to come on in the left midfield position, but it was an if question, so not quite up front, but maybe Nestor or Frey could. Oh, Vieira has a yellow card. Yellow card for Rio Ferdinand as well. With your frog, and then 20 minutes left in the match. We've had 5 goals. I've been counting a bit better. Oh, Henry makes it 5-1. Patrick Vieira is a man of the match at the moment. It's very good for Trumpton, and the Magpies have. I mean, I don't know what 5 is in the Magpie song. I know it's 4 for a boy and 5 for a disappointing defeat. Maybe it could be 5-1.
Wow.
And it was all to do with the Gibbon being sent off early on, I think.
Yeah, monkeying around. Interesting stats there. Similar shots on goal. That would be probably to do with Trumpton's centre halves going AWOL for the first half of the game. But that was, that's comfortable. The changes did not help Los Urracas at all. They weren't given much hope there.
No, they weren't.
Well, let's not go over these again, George. Come on, all the way down to the bottom.
I just go straight to the things, and we have an NGI naughty boy. He just kicks the ball away, and the referee Högland or whatever he was called said, "Nope, off you go, you naughty man." And then Rositzky. Well, look at this. We've got Robin to Parler to Rositzky. He comes forward, he does lots of running, and nobody bothers to do anything, and he scores. And then Vieira's 30 yards away, and Henry gets a nice header. Wonderful for them, right? Yes. Walter Samuel's done very well, and Ronnie Johnson, but nobody else has really bothered in the team apart from
sometimes a red card, George. Sometimes a red card so early on completely changes the entire feel of the team. You can just write this one off to a red card early on. You can fine Shea Given. You can fine Costanzo. That would be my instructions for the next game. And I'd probably play neither of them in the next game if I was the Los Urracas boss, whoever that may be. And my advice would be to fine them both and drop them both.
Fine and drop them both and play David Batty in goal.
Anyone.
But I don't know what the team feel like. I imagine they feel very, very soft and defeated. And whereas for Thomas Rositzky ended up with the 10 as well, and Vieira man of the match with 150 tackles and the thousands of them won. Lots of key passes. and just everything good apart from just the fact that he didn't score a goal.
Yeah, brilliant performance from the best player on the game there, Vieira. Look, it's interesting to see Ferdinand getting a six because he was running away from the ball most of the time and
Yes,
losing a lot of his
that's not right,
tackles.
is it?
But that attack was brilliant there. It's not often you see forward, left, forward, right perform well, George, but they have on this occasion. So yeah, well done.
Maybe John Attacker could play next game as well in the team. And you say to find Costanzo, is that
Not
right?
that one. Yeah, he's doing all right. That one. His brother Franco is doing all right.
Oh, right. Yes. Just like how Zippy has a cousin called Zippo, they're very similar. Yes. Um, the next match has this team have apparently lots of hope going into this game. Their last match was a lovely 3-0 defeat against the Zalgiris Rangers. But they are quite good. Earlier this season they had a big win over Stacking Colliery. They beat them.
Stackington are a bad team. Stackington are a really poor team. I have to be honest.
Is that right? Well, that was an easy win then, wasn't it, Jeffrey?
Good
Tato
formation.
Jeffrey. Yes, and this team, they are quite nice, aren't they?
Yeah, that's a very, very good team. Very good team there, George. Yeah, not many weaknesses. Not many weaknesses. Biscan, not a huge fan of him, but I mean, he's definitely good enough to be playing here. There's a lot of United players, so is this a United themed team or
It's
what?
a Premier League themed, I believe.
Okay, Premier League team. I could name, I think, at least 45 better centre halves than Biscan in the Premier League time, but
At least
the rest of the team are
45 better defenders.
good.
Would that well, Steve Howie wasn't in the division, I don't think. I think
No, he was 46. Then just missed the cut actually. Yeah,
Goran Bunjevchevich, he might be in there as well.
David Weir, etc. Yeah.
David Ray and David Unsworth. Yes, I think they could be good, and maybe Peter Clark as well. Um, we, yes, I think based on this, it's a very close game against the 76ers, who are playing 76 players in their team. I think today.
You'd have to consider them the favourites then, if that's true.
It might be why they won the cup recently. They are below in the table at the moment, but they last time round they beat the team with the Oat Biscuits. They beat them by a little bit, but today's their team without Takanadi, who's suspended. Um, yes, I think they're quite nice.
Yeah, another good team there. Good side. A few different leagues there. Clearly, there's a Serie A influence here. I'm guessing the theme is just good players that I like playing with on Champ Manager. I think would be the theme here. Interesting that Del Piero's in for Nicky Franco. Maybe he's done something to the manager's wife or something to be dropped in place of Del Piero. It's fairly embarrassing for Nicky Franco, but let's see how it pans out.
Yes, I quite like Nicky. He's a nice player, isn't he? Um, it's a substitute which they've always wanted to do, to bring on Nicky for Enko. At some point, I think. Sometimes I like to make things up. When they won the cup, that meant that they gone and stopped losing to Stackington in the game before, which was quite
Oh,
embarrassing, wasn't
that is embarrassing. That's really embarrassing.
it?
Yeah. Eighth in the
Yanders,
league. Eighth in the league. It just shows what a strong league it is when a side like the 76ers are eighth in the league. So they're hoping to push on there.
yes, I think so. Yanderson refereeing from the graveyard. Let's go and start and see if there's a red card in the first 18 seconds. No, we've escaped it this time. And
I'm assuming Del Piero will have a brilliant game here since I've just slugged him off.
it happens.
As will Biscan.
Bishan man of the match. With 19 goals from Del Piero, which should have been 57, but Bishan saves them all. A chance for it's Rio Ferdinand.
Hey, get in
Played
there.
very
Rio,
badly last
Rio,
game.
Rio, Rio.
He's a frog with his goal. Very good work, and I don't know. I think
Gone
there's
very
more goals
quickly.
in the game.
Oh,
It is
look at that!
2-0,
2-0.
and he's a very rude man who scored a goal, and it is 2-0 at half time. And Mark Bosnich has come back from being out as well. This is his first match for a little while because
Put the
I
Charlie down, and he's playing very, very well.
yeah, I think he had a ban for
Wonder
the
what that was
drugs,
for.
allegedly Majevri, but we having a little look into it, they've deserved to be ahead.
Yeah, it's a dominant performance, really. 76 is 2 shots on target is poor. Lack of creativity in the AMC area, one would suggest. But yeah, they deserved, really deserved. And if you got a keeper on an 8 at half time, always difficult to get past. So yeah, good performance, really.
But I don't see any 76s anywhere, and I think the team is a lie.
Well, actually, George, if you add up all of the numbers besides the percentages, it does actually equal 76. So
Yes, 5,
that's why you're wrong.
7, something
58,
76. It's
59,
very
76. Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
very true, isn't it?
yeah, 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 yeah.
But that's quite even.
Yeah, if you add up the defensive half and the middle half, it equals 76 as well, which is nice.
Which is quite nice, isn't it? And 50 plus 50 is
It's also
76 as well.
76, mad,
Yes.
yeah.
And we look at the goals, and then Giggs crossed it in, and Ferdinand heads it in on 25 minutes, and then Van Nistelrooy with it's a loose ball from a Vieira header, which was very strange, um, making a lovely goal for the team in that position. I just have a little look for the
Sometimes,
substitutes.
sometimes when reading match reports, it's difficult to work out which Patrick Vieira is playing for which side. So you never know whether it's a mistake from a Patrick Vieira header or a good move from a Patrick Vieira header. But in this occasion,
Yes.
I think it was intentional. So an assist there for Vieira.
Yes, I would imagine, because his team doesn't have
He's
a
not there.
Patrick Vieira,
Yeah,
so
I see that now.
60,000 minutes for the one substitute, and Real E, they want to make the substitutes at some point in the life. Any player on the 5 at half time? No, 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 no,
No
no, no.
chance. We
Well,
go again.
there is really no chance of the 5s when they're 2-0 ahead. And Chicago, with some football, Van Nistelrooy takes a yellow card, not much else, and
Pretty dead
substitutes
game.
coming. Oh, it's Ryan Giggs, Norman's dad, with a chance.
Dillis will be happy.
She will.
Having a
I'm
good
looking
game.
forward to seeing Dillis later on. For 76 teams, if Sigalko hasn't scored, yes, that's a change for Kezman.
He'll immediately get man of the match as per champ manager rules.
Is that if you come on for Sigalko, you are
No,
man of the
just
match?
Kesman. Kesman always gets man of the match for doing nothing.
He's had no
There it is.
league man of the matches, but he had one
Well,
in the cup.
there you go.
Rui Costa for the lowest rated midfield 3. Um, well,
Oh, mad that, innit?
7, but yellow card, and 7. I think Rui Costa for Van Bommel.
there.
Yes.
Where would you say the weak link in that team is?
Probably
Tough
here.
one.
I think there's
Yes,
not
wide
much going
left.
on
Yeah,
round this position. Yes, Jeffrey is quite
yeah.
nice. For the real E, which is not imaginary Madrid, we look into is oh
I
yes,
mean, Scholes is injured, so he's coming off, isn't he, George? So you can look at your notes all you
he
want.
is,
But he's
and I
injured.
think I think we don't take gigs off at this point, and Q only, instead of coming off for Ryan Giggs, comes on
I would
for
say
Paul
so.
Scholes.
Yeah.
And then Hasselbank for Viduka is the other change we've got lined up.
Yeah, sounds good. Viduka's not having his most influential game there, so that makes sense. Excellent.
JFK comes on into the team. Will they go flying through the rest of the
R.I.P.
match? Oh, he sings reds and yellows and colours and sings on the screen.
Yeah, there are.
Lots of players being booked and sent off, and I can't really keep up with it.
Yeah, no.
Kesman with a chance. I think he's going to be man of the match with that 7. Which Kesman again. Kesman has scored. He's got to go to pull one back, and you might be right, Jeffrey.
Game on.
Quite the bet. That might have happened. We go into the last minute or two, and there's just a chance.
Here we go. Come on, Connor ball.
We need to fall back.
He's been robbed there, Kesman, hasn't he? Been robbed.
Norman's dad is man of the match.
Oh, brilliant. I can hear Norman whooping now, which must mean that Dillis is in the building. So, yeah, congratulations there to Norman's dad. Good result for him.
Very nice for real. They just keep climbing up the table. Lots of chances for both teams, and it was quite an even game, I suppose, with the Sings, and but not 100 goals.
No. Yeah, close game. Two very, very similar teams. Unsurprisingly, a close game. It's 76 is languishing down in the league now after another loss.
And there's the manager of Hools with giving the yellow card to Van Bommel. Van Bommel.
Oh, Bommel. Right, okay.
A superb push away for the goal, which is very nice of Bosnich to superbly pass it to Kesman for that one.
Yep, very good. Solid. And then a couple of chances at the end really held out. So, yeah.
Yes, and I think maybe Paolo Maldini's 97 tackles was quite good, and Kesman was coming on and doing a very nice job, and Rui Costa, I think Mr. Lazarus must be quite happy with the substitutes made today.
Yeah, they're two of the best players. They changed the game really for them. The bit of impetus for the last half an hour. Costa's had a lot of the ball in half an hour there, and Kesman obviously getting his goal. So yeah, well done.
It must be all the caffeine of Costa, I think.
Shame he didn't take away the 3 points.
Yes, indeed. They mocked a mess of their match. We can talk the pretend coffee, and then the real yes, very nice Beckham, quite good. Giggs much better, but I mean we've had better managers of matches this season, haven't we? I think.
Yeah, fairly. I mean, he was on an 8 already, I think, at half time, maybe even a 9 at one point during the game. Maybe he lost all of his head, hasn't it? Lowered him down, lowered his rating. But yeah, solid.
You said you didn't really like him, and
well, no, he's done all right. In a 3 with those two.
He's a bit better. We don't like him, do we?
Nah, forget him. Sell him. Move on.
Are you staying for the next match with around Hay and Dalgety Rangers?
No, I'm gonna head out. And I'll send someone else in from the green room. I'll catch you. I'll be back later, George. Been a pleasure.
Very nice, Jeffrey. We're going to see if we can bring on the new presenter. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Am I in the right place?
Who? Is that Ernie from Sesame Street? Is that?
Or it might be, but I'm also sometimes Kermit.
Oh, it's Kermit.
It's been a long time.
I couldn't see you on your cameras. It's my yes. He's actually my favorite green person. Orville is my second favorite.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I didn't know. Yeah, thank you. Shrek is also usually up there with green people. People seem to like Shrek, but I'm happy to be your number one, George. Thank you.
Yeah, but I think Shrek is behind the Incredible Hunk as well. I think he might be ahead of them as well.
Oh, that's what Miss Piggy calls me.
I've heard she calls you other things as well. We looking at the round hay team when they played the West Yorkshire match last time against the Filmer Singer. They did quite a good match, and
Yeah, I heard the
just
Roundhay famous for having Jimmy Savile living there, which is an absolutely wonderful achievement for Roundhay. So I'll be rooting for them because I'm a big Jimmy Savile fan.
I've heard about that man. He likes
Great guy.
cigars, I think.
Helped me a lot.
Cigars and running and kids TV channels and things. And we now look at the team for today. There's been a little bit of a change, I think, in midfield, and Carles Puyol has been dropped for Didier Agatha Christie in right hand side of defence.
Yeah, interesting change there. And also interesting to see Ronaldinho on the bench because my limited football knowledge, he is usually a very good player. Has he been off form in this league? I don't watch this league. I don't care for this league. Why? Why? Well, I was expecting something different there, but well, let's see how it goes for the Jimmy Savile ticklers, as they like to be called.
Is that the nickname for the team?
Oh, that's what I was told. Yeah.
I just like the butterflies in Roundhay. I think it's a nice place for that. And yes, I've been before and seen the pink butterflies. Yeah, I think they have a chance definitely, but they are playing a team even better with the second place in the league, who last time round beat this very good team called really good. That's quite a good result, isn't it?
Yeah, very good result there. Another very strong team. A similar four at the back formation, three across the middle. Yeah, another strong full side. A close game will be at hand here. I'm not a fan of Albert. I'm more a fan of Big Bird. But yeah, interesting game we have ahead of us.
El Bear, I think he's Spanish, is he? A Spanish bear?
Yeah, for the dog. Yeah, the dog.
Bungle's friend El. It might be nice. I think that they've borrowed the position from Roundhay and moved it into a different little place. And other than that, the team looks the same. So that will be
very
quite
similar. So two teams matching up against each other, similar qualities. Usually results in a low-scoring game, but Dalgety Rangers will be hoping to push on to get that top spot because it is up for grabs.
Yes, I like to grab things, and Peter.
Yeah, don't we know it? Don't we know it, George? Sometimes against the people's wishes.
Yes, I like the pink things, and we've got the Peter Högland refereeing yet again.
He must be very tired.
Yes, if he makes bad decisions, we all know why. He's
Up we
already sent off
go.
2 players today. We shall see if he can send off another 7. Thierry Henry with a chance, and we see some shots and things.
Not much going on again. Tropical world, lovely place.
Yes, I think it might be my favorite holiday destination, other than Asda.
Slight exaggeration, but yeah, you need to branch out a bit there, George.
There's nowhere better. There's nowhere better. Is he still
Way
there?
up the stair is the stair where I sit. That was by Robin, my nephew.
He wasn't he? He was.
There's not much going on in this game.
He very, very little. I think when you said this, mate. Oh, Nicky
Forenko. They should be playing Del Piero.
I think that was Vieira with the shot that didn't count.
There was a goal. What happened to the goal, George? I didn't see it.
It said that they were naughty and Albert scored for 2-0.
I love that band. I love the band Albert.
Yes, Newborn is quite a nice song. I like that one. Very good, but nice. And the transfers are free. And
wow.
But they didn't want it. Roundhay 7. Dalgety Rangers 13 at half
a
time.
more exciting game than I imagined it would come up on the stats because I didn't see much of that in the action.
I think it all happened after 40 minutes.
It must have done.
2 goals. We have some numbers, like quite nice big numbers on this side, and then we have things here, and I think Dalgety Rangers with this big number in this bit, they've probably deserved it a little bit more.
Interesting that Daggers not even bothering to tackle, which is strange. A 23% win rate on the tackles. So I don't know. Maybe at halftime Jim will fix it. Maybe for Roundhay. So let's see.
It might just be that they've tried 732,000 tackles in the first half, and only some of them have worked. We have a look for the goals. A free kick from Lizard Man, and it crosses in, and Nikiforenko scores with that one. That was very nice, and then Aymar with a just loose ball into Elbert, and yes, and Elbert scores. A Vieira, who was man of the match in the other game, isn't allowed to be man of the match today. I think that was happened. Roundhay roundly behind at the moment, even though Rio Ferdinand is doing a very good
they haven't had much of the ball. You'd have to say there's not much going on there. Maybe that's why Daggers haven't had to make any tackles, because Roundhay have not had any of the ball. So interesting. Not the most inspiring. Still just about in the game with a few 7s, no 5s. So everyone playing pretty average. So not completely out of the game. Next goal is Key, I would have to say.
Key Sung Young, I remember him playing, or Billy Key, maybe.
Richard Key, Sun Young's brother, actually. So yeah.
That would be smashing if he could do that one. I think we're looking at the changes we're just looking at the stats for Dalgety, and I think Spaghetti Rangers have not put in too much either, but had 2 goals in front.
Yeah, where has the ball been for the entire game? Nikiforenko and Elber not really touching the ball, but both have a goal. So they'll be happy with the ease at which they have received their reward so far. George, you'd have to say? Good, solid. Emerson isn't winning any of his tackles.
I was just looking and thinking that's why they've only won 23%, because he's won none, yeah. And the other team have won also 23%.
He's ruining it for the team there, but winning a lot of headers. So he's maintaining a 7. So yeah, good performance. Sebastian Frey doing very well for them in goal as well. I predict a 3-1 win for the
Roundhay.
No, not for Roundhay. Remember, do the numbers at the top.
3.
There we go. They already have 2. Yeah. Restart the game, George.
Let's go for 15 minutes with some quality action. And when there's a hostile Roy with a chance, he came quite close, and then not a lot of a penalty, and Sebastian,
and another penalty. Oh, this could change the game.
The best game ever has now been sent off. I have a little look at the substitutes they were hoping to do. They like to take off players on just. I think Emerson with his 6 would be the candidate to come off this position. Because
that would be a very bold move. I would consider taking off Van Nistelrooy myself, but it's up to you. You're the boss.
Well, yes, I mean that's a choice as well, isn't it?
Oh, hey there, Bert.
Is Bert there? Yes,
no, he's on.
He's on Skype. Much, does he?
No, he doesn't talk. He definitely can't come in and talk now. There's no way that Bert can come in. That has not been agreed before the evening at all.
His parents didn't sign the agreement, did they? Yes, we look at that change, and with 5 minutes till substitute.
A penalty as well for Roundhay.
And Ashley Cole might well come up and score this one, I imagine.
Well, let's see.
It is Ashley Cole. He does
Ashley
score.
Cole.
It's not a surprise to see him taking the penalties. He took one last night for another team, and did a very pretty job on it. For the substitutes, Ronaldinho on for the worst performing striker. Oh yes, well,
Oh, straight up front. Yeah.
Henri Thierry
Oh.
coming off, and Juninho for the worst attacking worst of the three attacking kind of midfielders, worst performing / injured ones.
Has to be Robert Perez.
I just
Surely.
take Perez has 13 stamina, doesn't he? Yes. Performance 777.
I have no idea.
Yes, Perez for the little man.
Yeah.
He can come on and do the job.
Hope for a free kick. Hope for a free kick near the box. I hear he's very good at the kick freeze. So
well, he's not as good as Juninho Percolator or whatever he's called. He's even better at the free kicks, isn't he?
certainly is.
Let's have a look at it's the changes here. Blah 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 blah. Substitute the central defenders if they're on the 5s, and other people if they are on the 6. Yes, there are lots of them, aren't they? But the defenders,
Yeah.
that would be Emerson and Daggerhauer. I mean, would
I
you?
would probably do Emerson for Barry Ferguson if I were you, because Emerson is not doing anything really. So
And would you make all the 3, or just because?
I'd
If
probably
it's their
say one.
goalkeeper, you can't
Yeah.
get another goalkeeper, so maybe yes. They are
Okay.
on the 6s.
Yep. Daggerhauer for
Livery and Bruchek. Ooh, is it quite? I mean, I could switch over to the other side.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
put. I would put Liverani if I were you, especially with the one man light.
Yeah, we are. They're made of lights.
Good luck to all the players.
Yes, I hope you all win again. And it was a lot of thinking about some substitutes, and Elbert has had another chance, and it was quite nice goalkeeping from Edwin van der Sar, who's not had to do a lot today apart from not pick. Now he's had to do some more picking the ball out of the goal.
Elbert.
Bungle Bear was another goal.
Brilliant.
Something he's smashing something. Then might be keys. And then with 5 minutes left, we come into a chance for another goal, and it is
another one.
which
is amazing.
His millionth goal, and Ronaldinho.
What is going on? Why is he not starting? Ronaldinho's brilliant. Start him in the game next time, surely.
Quite nice for the 89 and 90-minute goals. It's the end of the game. Lots of chances.
That was another brilliant game. I'm very glad I came over today. This is possibly even better than the other league that I saw the other night. This is brilliant fun.
It's about, I think we've had 90 goals tonight, or something in our 3 games.
That can't be right.
91.
Seems to be a miscalculation there, George.
We saw the goals with Lizard and Sings, and he clips his feet. I think he was just cutting his toenails and Vieira fell over, I think. And then Ashley Cole came in and scored. And then Liverani Liverani did very well, and he hit his shot, and Van der Sar didn't bother to do anything.
Lazy.
Liverani again, very, very involved in the football, and Ashley Cole for Ronaldo. I mean, Ashley Cole and Liverani have done very, very nice work today.
Yeah, still only a 7 for Ashley Cole. He's completed a lot of his passes. Made one key tackle, and maybe it's the 4 goals conceded, I guess. But yeah,
it was a foul as well, I think.
There we go. They didn't play too badly round. Hey, a couple of tweaks, and I think they'll start to be more successful. Patrick Vieira had an absolutely outstanding game, very
11-7. and that was the first one, and that was the second one. So yes, I can understand these things. Thierry Henry stood about doing not a lot of football.
Oh, that's an hour of absolutely nothing, isn't it? Really, for Henri.
Yes,
Ronaldinho deserves to start next game. There, you'd probably say.
it's not like watching a Badgers match, is it? Henry's doing.
Oh, it is not. I'm on the Badgers.
I like Badgers. They are colourful, and we then have this team which have yet again showed how good they are with Elbert, Ayman, lots of key passes. Elbert with lots of tackles, and she's scoring 2 goals as well.
Yeah, doesn't need to tackle if he's scoring 2 goals. I think what really impressed me about the Daggers was the strength in depth. They had to bring on 2 world-class midfielders, and there was nearly a third one coming on there with Rosek because he's also world-class. They did very, very well. Yeah, very good squad. And they'll go far.
And of course, my favourite defender who can play on the left hand side as well, Okoronkwo. He gets in there, and yes, I think you said Elbert doesn't have a tackle. I think we have to ask his wife for the proof of that one.
Or Dillis.
Yes, Dillis might be going on for. Is this the game that Dillis said she was going to be? Yes, I can tell. This is a game that Dillis wanted to do, and I'm looking forward to it. Kermit, thank you very much. It was lovely.
No problem. Absolute pleasure. I'll go and see who's ready to come out in the green room. You feel free to fill the time while Dillis prepares her voice for the commentary. I'll go and see where she's up to.
Yes, and we take a very short break, Jeffrey, before the next ones. Thank you. We're back now, Jeffrey, and we have.
Hello, is this the right place? Hello, am I in the right place?
Dillis, it's so nice to see you on the screen again, looking beautiful as ever.
Oh, thank you very much, George.
Your nice
I'm absolutely
head.
delighted to be here.
I'm delighted to have you as well in my company in the pink room.
Look at that team! The station officer Steele.
Oh, he's station officer Steele playing.
But
I think he's really known as John Williams, but he's making his debut today. Station officer Steele playing for the Sons of Gondor.
Oh, I absolutely love Station Officer Steele. I serviced my boiler the other day. He's an absolute dreamboat. He's a dreamboat, he is. Don't tell my Ryan. Oh, my Norman.
Ryan and Norman together. Ryan.
No, never Ryan and Norman together. No.
I think it was okay because Ryan was with Station Officer Steele's wife at the time. It was fine. And Chef Kikuchi on the bench. I think he might dive into the match later on. Maybe it will be quite good, wouldn't it? Dillis,
it's amazing, Jeffrey? Absolutely amazing that Chef Kikuchi's got 20 acceleration. Possibly the biggest guy I've ever seen.
He gets the heart racing, I think. Roger Freestone is back in goal after the wonderful matches of Willie Guerre. He played very well, but Freestone was absolutely superb before his early red card in the other games as well.
They've been very reliant on the goalkeepers of the Gondor boys.
And that's why they are 30th in the league at the moment, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not looking too great there, is it? Not looking too great, but we'll support them through thick and thin. I'll be cheering them to the rafters, I will.
Oh, thank you, Jeffrey. I think we all know that Mr. Swan is a very charitable man, and he likes to be giving the other team some goals in the games. And I think you might like the Grove team. He should be on number 999, but it's not possible.
I can't believe it. I'm so proud of him. Proud.
It's nice for him to get the match, isn't it? And for the Grove Imperials, last match was a big win. Looking at
I would imagine they're a Pompey. Oh, that's very good substitutions. I would imagine there's a Pompey influence here. Was once down in Pompey as well. Plenty of sailors there.
100,000% Portsmouth. Yes, I know you like the Sailors. If we saw the last match, and today, Dario Silva with his one leg is now on the bench, and Cole will start instead. And we have a debut now back from injury from the start. Boris Zivkovic, he comes in and makes his first start of the season.
He's doing an absolutely woeful job of running our country. Absolutely woeful job is Boris.
Yes,
I'm assuming it's the same one.
There's only, I think Boris is a very, very uncommon name. It must be Boris Zivkovic Johnson Jeffrey. Yes, he and John Curtis has moved into the middle of defence now as a replacement rail service in the team for this game. It's 11th versus 13th, but Grove are already 5 points ahead, and I think they are probably the better team.
It's a do-or-die game, really, for my Gondor boys. So I'm hoping they pull it out to the bag, but I'm not too sure that they will.
And
Gondor.
If they don't pull themselves out of the bag, will they suffocate for their death?
Possibly, but if they don't pull themselves out of the bag, I'll certainly pull them afterwards.
You'll pull them all off at the end of the game. Yes,
Number 10 for Boris, I'm assuming.
Unlucky 13. He comes in, and Carl and Eric refereeing. And yes, of course, the weather is back again. My favourite weather, the gutsy weather, which I know that you liked last time. Yes, let's start off. Nothing's happening at all, Jeffrey. And then we just, it was a close one.
Come on, the Gondor.
Gerhard Berger, it was disallowed. It was Gerhard Berger who's coming to the team. He was replacement for Berkovic.
The two referees just got out to get in there. Oh, dearie me, it's all in one. Oh, no.
Chris Coleman wearing an all-in-one, and David Romo has been sent off for pushing.
Oh, David.
I think he pushed Gerhard Patrick in the chest.
It's an absolutely terrible decision from David Romo.
As they all strikers, he's just a little
check. Move and the gun across. 1-3 is better than 2-3 anyway. Oh, dearie me. Station officer team will guide us through.
1, 3, and 2. There's over 3 there, but there's not a 3 here. And
no, that's true. That's called counting, George. Yeah.
And which, if you were to choose somebody who could shoot more, would you choose these ones or the gun? I don't know which one would be my choice. I think I would choose to shoot with the gun. It is
not sure where you're going with that one there, George.
I have some dark thoughts sometimes, Jeffrey. We are in he's 1-1, and Andrew Cole has scored.
Didn't even notice that one.
I don't think it might have come up. We'll watch the games back tomorrow and see it was very obvious, but I didn't see it either.
You probably weren't looking.
I looked and then it says they kick off, and I didn't know what had happened. And
Chris Coleman's having a brilliant game back there. Chris Coleman, I've known him for years.
Yes, I think he is everybody's favourite player in the world.
That's debatable.
Mass what? Look at his shots on target. It's full of numbers, and but they're not very good at shots off target, I think.
100% shots on target. It's the first time I've seen that all evening. Gondor, very good performance with 10 men, and Grove have to be disappointed. Gondor know that everything is on the line in this game, and I am, after I've come back from Newcastle, I am hoping that they win this game.
We shall see. So, because Grove kicked off, Romo has pushed Alessandro.
He must have been really annoyed that he kicked the game off.
Yes, I think
how dare they?
Must be it. But Van der, I mean, this is quite. He aims the corner at the far post, well, why not aim it at a player? It would probably be better. But then Coleman has smashed it into a corner and he scored a nice goal. And look at this, Cole with the ball, ran at Cole to Coleman, and then he comes forward, and then Van der Gun guy.
Incredibly fast.
It looks like a very nice goal, doesn't it? I think his fifth goal.
Seems to be running for absolutely ages around everybody.
Yes, I like that one. No, there will be no subs at this point here, and for the Grove, any injuries? No, there's no obvious injuries at this point. We can go to 6 hours into the match and see what happens. Yes, it's not as interesting as the other matches at the moment, but anything can happen.
Come on, the Gondor boys!
The substitutes are planned, and they are planned to be good.
Get station officer Steele off and Van der Gun. They're absolutely knackered.
And Williams, but yes, I think we make the 2 substitutes and keep the one on. I mean, Lacey is more defensive.
I like Lacey. Lacey's a very good player. I didn't spot him down there. Why is Lacey not playing?
So I think Coochie for Van der Gun can do that, and but Lacey would be a more defensive. I think it has to be Rory Fallon, Jeffrey, to come on because of Station Officer Steele.
Station Officer Steele.
Yes,
fair enough.
Think Jeffrey. Yes, he has a poorly knee.
He's very old. That's why he's about 95 years old.
I wish he was here.
Alexi Smerton. Get Alexi Smerton off for Sean Davis immediately.
Poorly little man. Merson has a northeast thigh, and Prosinecki he's a man.
Prosinecki.
And Cole has scored, so we don't need to worry about the Cole one and things. It has to be those 2, and we just continue
sorted.
With the football.
Solid changes there, George. For solid changes.
Solid changes for both teams, and it's a thrilling game. To say
no, it's not, George. There's not much going on in the second half. No.
Well, I like it that they're both not losing.
Pretty dead so far. Come on, Gondor. Still time. There's still
time for the Gondor, time for Biker Grove, and with chances.
Absolutely unbelievable. And quite offensive.
Oh
my goodness gracious
so
me.
Campbell.
Oh my goodness gracious. And that absolutely relegates Gondor right there. They're relegated now. Oh dear.
Relegated from a division they can't get relegated from, but maybe
I'm absolutely devastated.
It does tell you at the end of the day they will still be behind Danglies.
Goodness gracious me. Grove, you absolute piss waffles. That's a disgrace.
Yes, I've not had those type of waffles before. Do they have a nice tangy taste?
No, I wouldn't recommend them. I really wouldn't. What on earth? Oh, that came out of nowhere.
I'll stick to my pink pancakes, I think. We 5 shots, 5 on target.
Very even game. Just nicked it at the end there. That's amazing. I don't even know where I'm from these days.
Yeah, we've my photocopier and my peppers, Jeffrey. I try to think which part of the northeast I might come from. Then
I come from the Welsh part of the northeast, clearly.
Northeast Wales of somewhere like, I don't know, Wrexham or something maybe. The head of Campbell, his meatballs. It's Campbell's meatballs with the header and a lovely. Do you remember the Campbell's meatballs advert when it was on telly many years ago?
No, I don't think I do. No.
Yes,
I was busy with Ryan.
Mum said, "Don't you eat too many, or you be a meatball too, Jeffrey." I think that was the lines of the song. In there is. You
Seems
might
like
need.
an irrelevant piece of information for a football game.
Oh, don't worry. It will be on. It will be on the Twitter tomorrow. The advertising, maybe. Hopefully, Jeffrey. Into Gondor. It was all about the Romo.
Lord
No.
McAleary's had a lot of the ball.
Yes, he passed it nearly as many as a Land Rover from the other division, but Chris Coleman with his 8 tackles won and 7 headers won. Why is he not a 10 out of 10?
I'm not too sure. That's really, really harsh on Chris Coleman. He played a wonderful game. And that should have been a 10 out of 10 for me. He gets a 10 from me, Chris. You get a 10 from me. You're anti-Dillis.
I can give him an extra cookie for his performance today. And for Zagrove, who won the match, we see he looks like they're a little bit lucky, but
Yeah, not
again
that much to
another
say
win.
about that performance, but they gave ground out to the victory there. Not much to say, really, on the basis of that. Sol Campbell, very solid. Sol
Yes,
Campbell, Gamble.
yes, all gamble is very good. I have been informed by the mega champion horse that next week we might well be having Stu Vanson from Grove as the commentator for the matches, which will be quite nice for the rounds coming up. It will be his national television debut when we are on Sky Sports Swemp next week.
Very much looking forward to hearing him. I'm going to go off and check that my Norman's behaving himself. I'm not sure if I'll be back later. I might have to go and look after him all evening, but thank you very much for having me. I appreciate you inviting me back on.
Thank you, Dillis, and give my best to Norman and my worst to Ryan, please. Yes, thank you, Jeffrey.
I will. Good evening. Good night, George. Good night, my love.
lovely to hear from Dillis. And we go into this match here, which is
See you later, Dillis. See you, Dillis.
Oh, Tato's
George.
walks into the room for the top of the table clash between Blues, who are in third, who are not at the top of the table, and Atletico New Mills
That's what we're here for. We've got the top goal scorers against the fewest conceded, so something's gotta give, as they say.
And yes, and unless it doesn't, but we we can see.
Oh, is that a possibility, George? Yeah.
Yes.
The theme for this one.
I am getting better at it.
Michael Hughes's Barmy Army, I would imagine, because you've got one random dude. I mean, it's a very funny mixture of players, I'll be honest. Delivio is in there, I'm not sure why. Hughes is a bit of a laugh because he's quite good. Why is Delivio playing? The rest of them are very, very good players. He's poor, isn't he? He's a very, very bad player. The rest of them, excellent team. Quite an angry team as well with Stam, Gattuso, and Delivio was pretty mad as well.
Michael Hughes is having a superb season, isn't he, at the moment, Tato? Yes,
very impressive, George, yeah.
This is what I have said to many people about Michael Hughes being one of the best players on the game. And Mike Taylor there from the Northern Ireland as well. There is, if you count Duff as Northern Ireland as well, and Stuart Elliott, there are some Northern Ireland players in amongst the best players on the planet.
Which it looks like Delivio's only playing because Giggs is injured. I would assume, so that does make sense. There's not many other options in that position.
Yeah, might be the case. Giggs, he pulled off Pig last week, and yes, it's what he likes to do. And Paul McCartney, another Ireland player, Northern Ireland player as well. Last match, they drew with the Trumpton team, who had a funny formation, but that's a good result.
Well, Trumpton were very, very good tonight, so that's why I say it's a good result. But I suppose Atletico pushing for that first position, so they'd hope for nothing less than a win every week, I would assume.
This is the third round in a row where at some point first place third in the matches, and it may well have been Atletico in all of those. Well, yeah, no, not in all of the games clearly, because Grove were not in the top three. But
No.
last time round and today, the top three.
Exciting.
Next time round, it's not easy, is it, for those next three games?
Oh, they've got a few hard games then, and then they've got the relief of the Danglies afterwards. So they'll be well looked after then. Let's see what they're up against tonight, George.
By the Danglies, lovely.
We've all been there.
The Dublin Blues in third place last time round drew with just Ackington.
Oh, that's a bad performance they put in the Blues there, isn't it?
It was an out of character performance, it must be said. Lots of contracts have been offered for the players, and they go in ahead with the triangle formation.
Yeah, that's a good formation. The Badgers formation. Yeah, that's a good. I mean, the team's absolutely class, isn't it? Let's be honest. The team's absolutely class. Yep, very good. They should
concept of good.
The concept of best players on the game.
Concept to try to win the league, maybe, and at the moment they're only 1 point off. It's kind of doing very well.
They're not scoring many for the players they've got, I think would have to be my criticism. But yeah, let's see if they change that around today. Bring it on.
Yes, maybe score 7 and concede minus something.
That would be good.
Sten Johansson refereeing this match. I think he might be made up by Pro Evo or something.
No, Scarlett's dad.
Scarlett Johansson. I remember Patrick Vieira. That's not normal, is it? A Vieira yellow card. I think. Athletic in red.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen them in red before. A penalty, and Robin has scored a penalty, and they scored another goal.
The tables.
Rebo West. I think when you said the team weren't scoring many goals,
sorry, Athletic.
It turns out it was wrong, but it was right. And off he comes for Okaronquo.
Oh, he's going to be home alone now. It's Kevin.
Gary McAllister going.
Didn't make any sense. Here we go again.
It did make sense, but I think he's been lost in Halmstad for this match, maybe, which is even worse.
I mean, what a half that is for the Blues so far.
It's much better than drawing with Stackington, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, it is.
Oh, disallowed goal for the Jeffries.
That would have been massive.
And then down the other end,
3-0
at half-time. And another match where all the shots are good.
Oh, 2 in a row, yeah. I mean, that is an unreal performance first half. Athletic have not got going. There's been so many fives in that first half. They're going to be fuming with that. Absolutely fuming.
I wonder where the fumes will come out. We have the penalty for being fouled in the air by Veron. He put some foul air in the place.
Robin again.
And then Van Bommel to Robin. He smashes it low and hard. And then Zé Roberto with a corner. And so Van Bommel has 2 assists. And
completed all his passes, won all his tackles. Wow. He's running the show.
I think that might be the most perfect performance ever, and I think we should stop playing some football now.
That was, he's been incredible there. I mean, that whole team performance has been brilliant. Zé Roberto, I mean, they're playing very, very centrally. I think you can see that. Zé Roberto and Agahau have they've had a bit of the ball, but they haven't really done much with it. Obviously, Zé Roberto's got his assist from the corner, his standard. But all that central play there. Van Bommel, Vieira, plenty of the ball. Robin as well, running rings around him. Very good performance, that.
It's rather wonderful, isn't it? And I think they are with a good chance of being up at, near the top of the league today.
That's a disgusting performance from them.
Yes, Atleti, substitute wise, they wait for the 60 minutes. I think.
He'll be absolutely raging there, manager. I would be.
If Loopy will be loopy, maybe at this point.
Genius. I did think they need that goal before half time that got cancelled. If they got that, we'd have had a different second half here, I think.
We certainly have a different game of football, which is still the same one, but we needed to substitutes, and they're coming now,
To get out of the game, I think. Quite often you get 3 goals in that first half, and the team just sits back and soaks up the pressure, and not much more happens. So,
like a big sponge.
That's the one. Bloody love a sponge cake, me.
Bad or tired at 60 minutes, and
nobody's been bad, you have to say. So tired.
I don't think it was 85 is that tired, is it? And they are 3-0 up, and I think it would weaken the team to make a substitute.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
unless you took off the yellow card. But he's not bad or tired, so no.
There's no defensive midfielders on the bench either, so I wouldn't bother with that, George. You're overthinking things.
There is Sebastian Frey. And
wow.
I think, looking at it, well, the substitutes for 60 minutes say Hughes has to come off for Elmander Holden. She will come on, and the other substitute is Sigalko for Van Nistelrooy, which goes into that position. Leave one sub for injuries or red card at your discretion. Would you do the Duff and Brown, or leave him a little bit long?
I'll leave it. He said keep one, so keep one. Duff will be fine.
He hasn't actually gone, so
I would just damage limitation. I think the game will peter out. I think might get one consolation, but should be out, I would imagine.
Side. And another 10. No. Robin is up to the 10 with Van Bommel.
Barthez has thrown the game a bit for them here. He's really let them down.
Oh, he has, hasn't he? He's like a Stackington, Barthez. Much like a Stackington. He's 4-0. And it's another goal. Ruud van Nistelrooy has made it 4. I think this is not what the league leaders wanted at all, to be 4-0 now.
On the cards for Barthez, because that's...
Sigalko has pulled one back at the end, and I am very, 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 very surprised by the outcome in the match today.
Yeah, you know more about this league than I do. That both these teams looked class today, and on the day, one of them has turned up. Atleti have not fancied it at all. I'll be interested to see how well Van Bommel's played with his 10 rating. Yeah, that's a spanking. Absolute spanking. Blues will be delighted there.
A very quick check at the goals, which yes we saw with Jose Roberto again with another assist for the horse, and then Livio with an assist. Lovely stuff. So nearly all the passes, nearly all. He couldn't be bothered doing any headers in the second half. Patrick Vieira with lots of headers, tackles won.
Brilliant.
Ronquo coming on and being better than nothing. Yes. I think it's quite a faultless performance.
Excellent team they've got there. They've built the formation tonight. It seemed to properly click. Obviously, because they play in the Badgers formation, aren't they? So obviously they're going to win with the Badgers formation. One thing they won't be tonight is blue.
Yes, they're not blue. Yes, and Barthez, he might feel like Le Bleu at the end of the game, which is 4 out of 10.
I'd say drop him, but the only substitution there is Mike Taylor, so I would assume Barthez will be given another chance.
Well, we have a quick look into the third choice goalkeeper, and it's Carol. She's in there as well.
Yeah, it'll be all right, Barthez.
a free pass.
I think Veron's been absolutely spanked by Van Bommel and Vieira there, hasn't he? He's been
Yes,
kicked around the
I
pitch.
think so. And Gattuso, he's got a 6, but he's put in lots of good, nice tackles and had a very tidy beard.
Yeah.
So, now we have the game. Are you staying for this one, Tato, or is?
I'll go and grab Kermit. He can come in again.
Yes,
I'll be back for the next game.
Super, very nice.
In a bit.
Well,
hello.
Oh, Kermit, very
Hello?
quickly.
Hello. Oh, sorry. My microphone wasn't working.
Yes, I think you thought you were on mute, but you were quite clearly talking, Kermit. I think we're okay. Looking at the Oatcakes, we know last game they lost 2-0, and today they don't change anybody with the team. And do you like football, or do you like this team?
I love Oatcakes. I'm a huge fan of the manager, and I do like some of these players. They're good in some certain areas of the game, but as a unit altogether, I think possibly this league was a step too far for some of these players. But I love to see
some of
an
these players are
team.
Unix. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. That's what happens when you eat too many oatcakes. So you become Unix. So yeah, the formation is weird, but it's cool. I like it. I like a bit of experimentation. They have not done very well this year, but I will be rooting for the Oatcakes because I really dislike the Stackington team and their manager, whoever that may be.
Yes, I have heard about some manager who likes horses or something. If it's the Stackington teams, they drew with the Blues, who last match we saw they scored 4 goals. There's just been a little bit of a change to the starting lineup today. That Yavin is out of the side and Van Nistelrooy has come into it with Elbert on the bench, which is a little change. And
that's a very strong team, and the squad list hurts my eyes because is the theme of this team versatility? Because you don't, where are the normal defenders? What on earth are all those letters after the names? I feel sick looking at it.
It's all their degrees and qualifications that have come after the players, I think.
That's incredibly annoying to look at, I have to say. But I do notice someone there. Something that Miss Piggy said to me once. She said, "Oh, I'm going to quim on your face," and there it is, right there in goal. So I'll be hoping she's clearly familiar with the Quim of Stackington.
They've not put much inside Quims this season. I think with him in goal, with Zabates. He was not very nice.
Wow.
But then you look at the Costanzo and he's done the same.
Wow.
So Quim.
Maybe that's why she's asking me to quim on her face. Yeah.
Yes.
She's had a great season.
She doesn't want anything. I think that maybe Dr. Kamalo he's not played today.
That's because he's a very, very bad player. Good decision from the manager, the weird manager.
Selness will be missing out in the matches, but we've got the sheep in the squad.
Oh, sorry.
Predictions for this match?
Hopefully 3-0 to the Odies.
We shall not extend your hands in. I'm sure he's just finished a match and now has had to travel from Hamstadt to Trelleborg. I think
it's a 12-minute commute.
12
my calculations.
Yes, we don't know where they are into Sweden, but you can do everything in Sweden in 12 minutes. So we start the match. And it's all oatcakes at the moment, which is not bad because everybody's hungry, and there has been a chance, and there are more chances, and they come forward again and have a chance.
Hearing me, that's a great start from the oatcakes.
It is indeed, and it's come forward for a penalty chance.
Oh, nearly a penalty there.
And a gap involved in Paulo Sergio and chances and more chances and Van Nistelrooy.
Good Van Nistelrooy. 1-0. Great. Yeah, he's a very good player. So it's not surprising.
I think that was 200,000 shots, and the cat has had one disallowed as well.
I think he got the assist as well. Agat having a very good game on his first starter after coming back into the team.
It's his first start since last match when he
Yeah,
started.
he's come back into the team. So that's what I was saying. He's come back into the team. That's the basics. No, George.
I
Wow.
think Stackington might be just
fairly even. Quim having another good game.
Yes,
All the action with this biggie. Doing really well. Very central. Game very central. It was a very interesting game, I thought, from two woeful sides.
A little intrinsic kind of match. So Agat to Van Nistelrooy, as you said, lovely, and sends a goal for Agat, which was disallowed. It was a nice ball in from Romashchenko to Agat, but Nikiforenko was offside. Zay will continue Stackington with a kind of average performance. Silvestre playing very nicely, and Agat sharing his toys with his friends, and that's probably about it for them. And for the Oatcakes, Neil,
they had to perform better than I expected, and also better than their stats show, really, because they were always in the game. They posed a big threat for 20 minutes, and Quim is on an 8, so they're clearly pushing hard for the goal. So,
yes, that's right, isn't it? And Neil Aspin has got the 7 at this point, which is
an interesting
7
game.
tackles put in, but a 6. We go to 60 minutes into this match.
Right.
It makes me sad that there's not more goals in this match, I think. A chance for San Marino.
He's really holding on. Odie's pushing hard.
Yes, they've not really been quite with it today, have they, Jeffrey? And we look into the chances and the substitutes, and we have, in terms of substitutes, with Romashchenko is going to be withdrawn, and he will be replaced by Song, who will come on with moving forward for Nikiforenko.
Song Cock. Great.
No, he likes to cook. He's a very
and sing.
He likes to cook and sing. Yes, that's right.
We all.
And the other substitute, it might be a slight surprise, but the
halfway up the stair is the stair where I sit. Everyone join in now. Stair where I sit.
There isn't any other place quite like it. Yes, I like that song. Yes, and for the OTs, they will not make a change because Steve Phillips is on the 7 and he's not on a 6, so Moylan does not come on. And that's the change that they would have made.
Okay.
So we look into it. Will it be a good substitute selection to have made for the team, or is it going to backfire?
Oh, Steve Phillips is a good goalkeeper. Michael Jackson, on a 5, not doing very well at all.
Yes, Jamon Muzzer. It's a red card to San Marino, and they now go for two forwards.
Yep, very simple change here. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. He just got angry, I think.
But it's 1-0, and it's still a threat.
Yeah, if you look at the defense for Stackington, they're really having to work.
Elbear's had one disallowed as well.
I can't believe it.
2 disallowed goals, and this is.
I can't believe it, man.
Really, the best performance in the match, Jeffrey.
Michael Jackson has been bad. It's not been a thriller.
It's 1-0, and
he's looking the man in the mirror at his performance after that.
I think most players will be wanting to make a change, but we have an 8 for Jeff Whitley and a 7.
What on earth song was that performance? I'm sorry, I'm finished now.
Will you be there? I don't know. And Phillips was a 7, and all of the Stackington team above all the rest of the players, but that was a very, very boring match.
Yeah, that was pretty poor. Considering the time and the fact that the clocks go back, I would say we spend not a lot of time on this game.
Please take don't put your clock back. Please put it forward like it should be.
Whichever way does it. Thankfully, my phone does it itself. Who's Tato, by the way?
Tato Kermit, Jeffrey. Dillies, well done, thank you. Yes, for the substitute.
Yeah, very good. Poor, Miguel Angel San Naza did not have a good game.
Where's the red card? What did he do? He
just headbutted him. Yeah, not surprised.
He said he headbutted him, and the referee agreed. Yes, the less said about that match, the better.
Game. And is this the last game?
I will just check the round of fixtures to check.
Saving the best to last. Best change player, it will show you straight away.
Yeah, I don't know what football buttons.
Yes, it is. I'm going for this one. Tato Mourinho is thankfully coming back in. Thanks for having me, everybody.
Thank you, Kermit. It's a shame Steve Wright's not here for today's match for this one. I can see Tato seeing if Steve's available for this match for the Danglies and the Radaby. Yes, it looks like Steve's turned up in the room here. He's what we all wanted for this game. He's been out there on with lots of.
Good evening, everybody. Absolutely delighted to be here. We got shadow of doubt, best game of evening. This one coming up right now. Danglies, big fan of Danglies, but my heart is at Radaby. I am FC Radaby all day long. I think I'm not too sure. Which team am I manager of again?
You want to be manager of the Danglies, and you want to be manager of this team for today, who have changed their setup to try and stop your Radaby Danglies today.
Right, interesting formation. Yeah, without a shadow of doubt, it's changed to try to combat what I'm going to do. But I'm a massive fan of Danglies, so I'm just going to open Magnus, sit back and relax, and hope for the best. So up Danglies and up Radaby.
And your cans, you've been drinking some magnets today. I think that's quite a lot of metal to be
24.
drinking. Are you okay?
I'm on 24.
24 magnets. As a all north and south magnets, or
yeah, they're enjoyable. Do it well. Attracting each other straight to the throat. Yeah, right down gullet. Yeah.
And I've heard that because you are so much in love with Wooder, that you said that you will let him make a special late night substitution.
Oh, you know me, George. Without shadow of doubt, if Wooder asked me for something, I'm gonna accept it, no problems.
Yes,
absolutely, give it to him. I will bend over for that lad. I mean, bend over backwards for that lad. I mean, absolutely, yeah. Without shadow of doubt.
Yes, backwards.
I can't quite remember what team I've chosen though. So, can we have a quick look at my team, please?
Well, last match you had to win against, which wasn't to win against the Butterflies. It felt like a win, though, if it being such a late night equaliser from little Ronald.
Team selection looks interesting there.
Yes, it does.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that one. That was yeah. Can't quite remember what I was thinking when I put that up there with Nicky Franco, left wing. Not sure what I'm doing there.
I think your magnets were all up this end and attracting the players to this side of the pitch.
That would be it. I think that has a lot to do with magnets, that one. An awful lot to do with how many magnets I've had that game, that night. Wow.
If you were to predict the match, would you want
why would Ronaldinho? Why have I put Ronaldinho on the right hand side, Nicky Franco on left?
I am going to make sure that you actually did that, because I
can't quite remember what I was doing there. Maybe it was fresh from a Tinder date.
yes, you did actually select it in that way, while showing me.
Well, if that's what I said, without shadow of doubt, that's the way I want it. Let's continue game. Let's get started. Up Danglies.
Anderson again. There's only been 4 referees for the 7 matches today. Bit of drizzle, a little bit of wet stuff on the pitch. and I think it will have wet stuff in the pants at the end of this match as well. With it being 0-0 after 11 whole Swedish minutes, and a chance for Vieri has come through, and we look for things to happen. The
Quite really
Danglies.
was. It's been a terrible game so far. Absolute terrible game so far.
Is there any doubt whether this is good or bad?
What we've saved this game till last, I regret it immediately. But at least it's going quite quickly because we're all up in an hour ago. Oh my
It's
good lord!
disallowed. Phil Collins with a chance
by
that
gum.
disallowed.
That's a right kick in knackers, that one.
Into pancakes, big pancakes.
I'll tell you about my pancakes.
You made some good ones on Shrove Tuesday, I think.
Absolutely massive, Mr. George.
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure what we're looking at there. Not much happened, did it? Just skipped at 40th minute.
We have a little look and
offside.
Phil Collins was offside. Danglies will not make any substitutions.
I can hear it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord.
Steve's got a lovely singing voice. I think I'd like to hear him sing maybe in next episode or something.
Without a shadow of a doubt, I'll sing next episode. Next time I'm on here, I'll absolutely do a solo. You just press start the game, did you? No subs.
I didn't see anything that had happened whatsoever, and no.
It was absolutely terrible game. Absolutely terrible.
It wasn't worth looking at the stats.
It's one of the worst games I've ever seen in my entire life.
I don't even know why I've clicked on things, because we just take a quick look at the hour and really
Get
not
all
much is happening. Jimmy Traore is running the match and into defence for the Danglies, and for Radaby, Alessandro Nesta is passing more than
We've had a lot of ball there, Radaby. Had a lot of ball, but without a shadow of doubt, worst game I've ever seen in my entire life. Any subs or can we liven up a bit now?
The special substitute will happen, Jeffrey.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah,
Steve
great one.
Nicky Franco.
Oh, Nicky Franco there with chance.
He's
playing left wing, so
this is terrible.
Absolutely horrific game. Absolutely horrific game. Hopefully, 89th minute change will make all the difference.
Oh, it's a goal!
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's not unbelievable, is it? Because it's Veron playing against Rigobert Song. So
I think it's unbelievable because it took so long. Maybe.
Click. Right, someone's making change here.
Substitution, and I will just check the news fully for the right substitution to take place. This is a specially agreed one that everybody wanted to know about for this match, and it is not doing anything. It is Peter Crouch for the Milan Baros. Peter Crouch now making his debut for the team.
Why is this happening? Any reason? Can't quite remember. What if I agreed to this for?
He said he would buy you another crate of magnets.
Deal. Without shadow of doubt, I'm accepting that offer.
He'd buy you some magnets for that one. And there's
absolute waste of time. Absolute waste of time. I'm going. Say to me, come back in. I'm going. That's absolutely pathetic. I'll catch you later. Oh, he's just stormed off there. Wow. He is not happy.
But his team has won.
I can see why he's not happy. That was one that looks like one of the worst things ever, and not just on Championship Manager or the Swemp League. That's just ever to be broadcast. And I include, like the Holocaust and things in that and stuff. So that's wow.
It's a big match of the day. Yes, 1-0 to Radaby.
Safe to say they'll be on last. Okay.
It's a really bad goal as well. Collins had a loose ball and he's tried to find Veron. He only tried to find him. Danglies Yes, Traore was a very nice match, and a few other players tried a little bit. David Thompson as the playmaker in the match with the long ball.
That was dog shit. Honestly, if anyone's still watching this, fair play to you. I would imagine two of you. I imagine, God, Lord, that's a lot of passes. He's just doing kick-ups to himself, isn't he? Honestly, Woodard and Steve, you are the only two listening now. What on earth was that? Right. At least put attacking formations on that play well against each other. That was embarrassing. You let yourselves down, your families down. You let your ball sack down, Steve. That is awful.
Jeffrey, I just can't see you. That's not football, is it?
Just Milevski passing to Nesta and back again for fucking 90 minutes.
It's like that Simpsons clip of right wing passes to centre. Centre holds it, yes.
Honestly, I'm quitting this. This is ridiculous.
Let's have a look at the results for this round. We finished with the worst matches of the day, the 2-1-0 victories. After starting in style. And into our table, we see that Dalgety Rangers are up there in the lead on the table, ahead of Blues and Trumpton, and Atleti have dropped from first down to fourth place. And Real E are now just 3 points away from the lead of the league table.
Yeah, they've closed that gap really. Have put themselves in with a shout there. Another win against one of those top teams up there, and they are massively in with a shout. So very, very closely, actually, isn't it? Split, I would say, in two. Right down the middle there.
I think it's split in more than two. The bottom three are
goals conceded for Danglies. Jesus Christ! And then Bradby have only bagged one against them.
Stackington with the win, 25. They'd conceded 20 goals in 4 matches, I believe, and 5 in the last 5, which is quite the difference. And it's all that you just can't penetrate the Quim in the matches, and I'm happy for the results for some of the teams, and sad for the teams that have lost.
Honestly, George, nobody's here, are they? No one's watching this now.
I think they all will still be here to see how bad that was. Next time round, we have got first versus fourth place, which is a massive match. Gondor Blues, Grove versus Stackington. That has.
John Megaros.
I think whoever wins might win the league. What?
Was that? Is that George there, or is it Megaros? They sound very similar right now.
No, he's just losing the little voice for being a bit tired of the voices. And look at the match there. I think this is who wins the league is decided by this one of Otis versus Danglies.
Wow. That game is one for the purists right there. I will not be tuning in next week. Really, round hay would be interesting. That's about it. And the top one.
So if we put this one on the last game, you can switch off a little bit early.
Yeah, good shout.
Into the average ratings, Patrick Vieira doing quite well in
4 of the top 6.
The best 3 players in the league are all Patrick. It's like when Murray Walker says that there are 7 winners of the Monaco Grand Prix starting, and 4 of them are Michael Schumacher.
So many good players in this league. Look at that.
With Michael Hughes and Andy Cole.
Andy Cole. Oh God! Right.
Said into the assist. Riquelme with 6 assists this season, and yellow cards. Patrick Vieira top of the list again. Red cards. Rigobert's Song. Yes, Shave Gibbon. He's up there as well. Man of the match.
He's on bananas.
Vieira. Team of the week. Well, Jimmy Traore is there as we expected, and 4 Trumpton players because they were the best team, I think.
Don't ask me to do this again.
Well, Tato and Dillis and Kermit and Tato and Dillis and Kermit, thank you very much for your appearance tonight. Thank you to Mega Horse for not turning up into matches, and yes, I do think it would be nice to see you again without George, maybe Tato.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I'm sick of the little pink bastard.
I would take offence, but no, I agree, Jeffrey. We leave you with a reminder of the matches for next time, which will be played in midweek. So please do make sure your teams are selected in by Tuesday night, people. Thank you very much, everybody, and good night.
Night all.